Hello, welcome to Viking Times, another episode, I think the third episode so far. Today we're going to be in honor of Yellow Ribbon Week, Suicide Prevention. We're going to be doing an episode and talking about how serious an issue this really is. It affects a lot of people, not only just Americans or students, everybody in the world yearly. And it's a horrible subject to think about. Not many people want to talk about it, but it's just, we want to share some light on it and understand that it is real and people are suffering and going through things that nobody understands. So if you have a friend who's sad, try to comfort them and console them and make sure they don't do anything rash.
Thank you for the intro, William. In this month, we're celebrating in the spirit of Yellow Ribbon Weeks, and we have a special episode talking about suicide prevention. And it's very a sensitive topic, right? And you're all teenagers here. We have high school student panels here. And hopefully, our goal is to bring out that message is that if you need help, there are a lot of resources out there that provide the support. And let's talk about a very important question about, especially for teenagers. Why do you think a lot of time kids who struggle with their daily life are unable to reach out for help? Why is it so difficult?
It could possibly be a pride thing. Maybe they see it that if they reach out that they'd be considered weak, or they'd be considered weak. They're maybe not strong enough to do that or tell somebody what their issue is.
Not only that, but I feel like people also think that your friends or family won't care, like, oh, they won't miss me, or they'll bring up these delusions they had in their own head that say that I can only deal with this alone because no one else would want to care or will care.
Sometimes it's just some people think that other people will just be annoyed by their emotions, so they just won't reach out to anyone in fear that they'll just be like
shunned away.
Shunned away.
So it's also there's a saying, as I know, I've been teaching for such a long time, and what we notice is that the student who hang around with a good group of students will also do well in school as well. When you hang around with a bad group of students, do you feel like you want to share those deep thoughts at all?
Not necessarily. It could seem, if I say something, I'm going to be like made fun of, loser over here, look at this guy.
That's a very interesting part, right? Because if you have a friend, assumed to be a friend, who just there to be there without truly understand who you are, you really lose the opportunity to reach out and get support. Now, with that information, what do you think students who are struggling at this particular moment, what is your advice for them if they don't trust a friend? And think about this in school setting. We do have a lot of resources and support.
On the back of each of our student IDs, we do have I believe we still have it. I don't have my ID, I lost it.
Yeah, I think
we have the National Suicide Hotline in the back, so if you do need a call.
Anybody have the student ID with them?
No.
All right, bring them up here. Let me see.
Where's that?
Let's share that number. And I think that's important because every student should know that on the back of their ID, if they ever have any problem, even at home, right?
It's the crisis helpline and the suicide hotline.
Yeah, so let's read that number out. Let's see.
Okay, so hand me the ID. Well, the National Suicide Prevention is 1-800-273-8255. And then the domestic violence hotline is 1-800-799-7233.
Thank you, William. So
you also use 988 for the suicide prevention hotline. I think they changed that recently. We can also use 988.
Possibly.
Nice. Right away, we want you to know that if you don't have the right peers or the right friend to share your problem, our school has a lot of resource for you to reach out, right? And there's a rapper that sang the song a long time ago, something called along YOLO. You really only live once, right? If you struggle, there are a lot of people out there who care about you deeply. This world seems to be a little bit individualistic sometimes, but trust me, as a teacher, I've been here for so long. The world care about you.
In a world where it seems like everybody's just doing it for themselves, only trying to benefit themselves, it would seem that people feel like they can't reach out or that there's nobody to care for them. There's always somebody to talk to who will console them and help them out.
Exactly.
It don't have to be someone you're close to. It can just be someone like you at least trust enough to know that they won't share your secrets. You don't always have to be close to that person to talk to them or ask for help. You just have to at least ask. There's no, how do I say that? There's no downside in just asking. If they don't want to listen to it, then that's fine. But also, at least you just tried. You need to at least try.
And here's the cool thing. If there are things in school, a lot of time when you share your story, right? If you want to make it confidential, there is that option as well. Does that make sense? If you felt like, oh, I'm gonna get threatened or get punished at home or something like that. That shouldn't be a problem at all. You are protected by your privacy law. You can know that you are protected, right? That's why there is law put in place so that your story will remain confidential until it's solved and you get that support. So you should never be shy or be afraid at any time to share your struggle with any staff on our campus. Does that make sense? So for those students who are out there who are in need of support, feel free to reach to your counselor, your administrator. They are here to help you. And like I said, that was a great song, a great slogan, YOLO. You only live once, right? And the beautiful part about life is that you truly live only once, but every experience you experience in life is also once as well. You don't really go back in time, say, I'm going to reset myself and live that moment. Because there are things in life when you make that decision, there is no going back. So you should always learn from your mistakes, learn from your struggle, and truly appreciate it. Because if you feel the pain at this moment, the future you will feel the greatest happiness in life. Like, this is like playing a video game. If you're constantly losing all the time and then you actually won the first time, that is the best feeling ever, isn't it? So the same thing in life, right? When you struggle throughout your childhood, guess what happened? Your adulthood is going to be. Once you overcome the challenges, this is going to be the brightest future you can ever imagine. But for those kids who have a bright futures of their childhood, they enjoy all the luxury in life, that's really hard to overcome. Because you have been baby or protected by your parents throughout your whole entire life. And once you escape high school and you hit that struggle the first time, guess what happened? Those are the kids who are vulnerable the most, right? So for those students who out there struggle a lot, embrace your challenges, embrace your struggle, and ask for help. Does that make sense? You shouldn't be afraid of your challenge because that's all part of growing up. You should not be afraid of getting D and F to some extent and then give up. You should embrace that D and F and say, how can I improve next time? That's the key part. Or if you are at home with a lot of challenges at home, right? And of course, not everybody have a perfect family. And that's the reality of being perfect is almost imperfect to some extent. You cannot expect perfection all the time. But what you want to do is enjoy what you have and do the best you can. And like it says, right, there are a lot of support out there. And never be afraid to ask for help, especially at our school, the Moreno Valley High School, right? We have a lot of support here. You shouldn't be afraid at all. What should you tell those students who are struggling academically or personal life?
Struggling in general.
So yeah, struggling in general.
Thinking about suicide.
What should you tell them?
Me? Did we circle back to...
Yeah, if you can have any, like I said, definitely reach out for help, right? And values your life, definitely. Because next day is always a new day. And the beautiful thing about being in US is that every day is a new opportunity. And a lot of students don't know that. A lot of students think, man, society is so suck, right? It's always this and that nagging me left and right. But you have to realize that the moment you take control of your action and your own life, it will change. It will change the whole entire world that you will see every single day.
I think from personally, not personally, but from what I've seen or heard of, it can be hard sometimes to continue on because you feel just depressed, horrible. You don't want to get up. It feels, although, yeah, we do have these opportunities, they don't understand that or really believe in them. And I could see why that would be, but it's as simple as just talking to somebody, having someone help you out. Because although none of us here are professional counselors or anything of the such.
Yeah, because also I've dealt with depression in my personal experience, and I know that even asking for help, like, you like cloud your judgment. Because in the process of help, it's like a super long process where in the beginning you'll feel like I don't deserve this help. Why are they helping me? But at the end, once you start recovering, you start realizing, like, yeah, they did good for me. They helped me in life. They helped me get better to the place where I am today.
And that's pretty cool to share that story because we don't realize the moment that we need help, right? Like the moment you need help, you realize, do I really need help? It's really hard to see that because
just embrace the commodities we have, like you said, counselors, talking to people, to take in their help, use that, allow them to help you out. Otherwise, nothing is going to get better if you're just going to deny, and oh, nobody likes me, nobody cares about me. You got to actually try and go put yourself out there. You can't be afraid.
There is a learning theory called a cognitive development. Is that for every little kid growing up, you pretty much have nothing, innocent, right? And also not just innocent internal knowledge, but your brain development or changing as you grow up. When you're so little, you don't really understand abstract concept, right? Like fractions, really hard. You don't learn fraction when you're in first grade, but your brain do the same thing. You can only understand emotion when you get older. That's why little kids, they have a hard time understand feeling of adult because they don't have that concept yet. The same thing with little kids. When they struggle
An
at that,
empathetical concept, I'm pretty sure that's a made-up word, empathetical concept. They don't have the concept of empathy and understanding emotions
go.
yet.
if they don't have that processing, so it's really hard. So basically what's happening is our brain are not developed at a young age, but that's when we expose to all this negative thing. And a lot of time, kids hurt themselves, guess what age?
It's younger ages because of what they've seen and what they've been. Their kids are very malleable sponges.
Yeah, but they're very impressionable. So if you do something, if you see someone do something when you're like really young, you think that either that's normal or that's how they should be doing it.
And it carried them to their adulthood, right? And it's like an imprint. It stand there forever. And it's really hard it's like you get a tattoo. And to remove that tattoo it's impossible. There's no way you can remove a tattoo. It will always linger there forever. And it's going to affect how you interact with people as well. So
Yeah, that could build up to trust issues, issues with talking to other people, social anxiety and whatnot.
yeah, that's a very good point right there. You know, if
The
you
environment basically is basically the main indicator of, not main indicator, but like the main contributor to like, let's say mental health problems, because if you're in a bad environment, either you think that's normal or you like get affected by it easier.
and also with social media as well, right? It creates this world of perfection. And then imagine a little kid who growing up, not having anything and watching a world around them, everybody being perfect, have all this luxury. Okay, and of course you want more, right? And the moment you want more and you don't have it, guess what happened? It go back to that negative thought, negative feeling, why is my life so suck? But turn out that the whole entire world they present to you and social media is fake. And that even make it more difficult to some extent, especially when a lot of social media, not only social media, but also the mainstream media, the entertainment industry out there saying that, hey, all this little thing is normal, but it really is not. The perfect world out there is not really that perfect. It just presents to be perfect.
On that note, I would like to say that it's fine to ask for help. It's okay to understand that nobody's really perfect. It's not okay to beat yourself and think that, oh, why am I like this? I'm just horrible. You should never think that way. You're just as great as the next guy.
Oh yeah, thank you.
Yeah, but like, asking for help can always be hard. We all know that. And we all know that depression or anxiety, whatever you deal with, can also cloud your judgment on how to get help. But even what you believe is the smallest problem is not always the smallest problem.
Exactly. Ask for help the moment you feel that gutsy feeling. Just ask for help. Just know that the world cares about you and your school is designed to help you whenever you need it.
Did you want to say anything?
Yeah, sometimes it is just hard to get out of bed. It's nice to just give yourself some breaks where you can just lie down and cry sometimes, honestly. Just go indulge yourself in things that make you happy. Old childhood toys, old videos you used to watch.
One last thing I want to share is there is a great CEO that he purchased this particular company and he's super stressed about it. Guess what he did? He played video game for the whole entire night. But I won't tell you who it is. You have to explore that yourself. So again,
Thank you for watching.
Don't forget that recovery from whatever you're done with is not a fast process. It's super slow. It can take weeks, months, even years to actually feel normal or comfortable. So,
And you'll never really get that true normality. It'll just be better.
yeah.
And with that being said, we wanted to thank you guys for watching. We have other episodes up on the website. Again, suicide is never the option. It's never okay, and it's not going to solve anything. Again, suicide hotlines are, I forgot the numbers. They'll be put up on screen somewhere through editing.
we put
them up on screen somewhere through editing process. And again, just don't do it. It's not okay.
Okay.
Yeah, it just, instead of solving anything, it'll just pass the pain on to someone else, and then that might lead them to also committing, and then it's just an endless cycle.
Yeah.
Thank you guys. We hope to see you in another episode.